Okay. I just have to wait a little bit. I think the driver might be late. That's alright. We have time to wait. I'd just better see if this stream has actually popped up. There it is. Come on, who is missing? Let's have a look-see. We have 19, there's one missing. And I'm in spectator mode, yes. Good to see. See if I can't try and bring him in. Tier 1. F1 Hawk? Yep, you're here. EK, I'm pretty sure I saw your name. There it is. Brenner? Yep, you're here. X-Revolution's here. Toddster. That's the person who's missing. Toddster, where in God's name are you? No, I haven't. It's right here. Give me Discord. There it is. There it is. Don't worry, Matt. I might be a fool, but I know what I'm doing. Oh boy. So the driver's starting to ready up now. Oh no, Toddster is here. I'm just as blind as a bat and I didn't see him. Gaming Burger. Okay. And BK returns. Oh, okay, so it was Toddster then. Was it? Must have been. Right. And BK in the Mercedes. Righto. Oh, come on, fellas, ready up. We're 3 minutes late. That is not on. Let's get this show on the road. And by the way, if you're listening to this right now, you may be able to tell if you've got a keen ear and, you know, common sense that I'm not expert. My name's Smeg. I commentate for the Tier 2 Pacific Series, typically. But Expert couldn't make it for tonight's stream, so I'm stepping in for him. Unfortunately, I don't have all the jazzy stuff, but I'll try and make it up with my shouting and my my yelling and screaming of the racing that should go ahead. But ladies and gentlemen, of the Race Spec Esports Pacific Series Tier 1, not Tier 2, I have to get Tier 2 out of my head, Tier 1, and we're here at one of the most legendary circuits in all of motorsport. Historically, this former RAF airfield held the first ever Formula One Grand Prix all the way back in 1950, and, a little fun fact, was the only Grand Prix watched by the keen eye of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. But tonight, it's not about the history, it's all about the fantastic racing that we are about to witness. Oh boy, I can't wait for this. Look at the talent in this tier. Absolutely ridiculous. I know most of these fellas, some of them I don't. As we move on to the 18 minutes of qualifying. So I've got a rough idea of who should be where. I've also had a look at the championship table rather. And at the moment, Zach Schumacher, or Zach Crichton, in the Mercedes has been absolutely dominating this championship. He's got a 53-point lead coming into this round here at Silverstone. And he's got 4 wins under his belt out of the 9 thus far. The only other winners in this tier at the moment is X Revolution. He's got 2 next to his name. And I believe Schmidt is another after his absolutely brilliant display in Canada. That Jensen Button drive of his was absolutely amazing. Let's see, who's the first driver out of the circuit, I wonder? I think it's Dr. Dre. Aaron L3F4 is another race winner. And I believe the last 2 were Crossy and 40. I'll double check that so then I'm not talking out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Let's have a look, see. Race results. Revolution, Aaron. Spilly was the other. Spilly was the other winner. Righto. So yes, Aaron with 4, Revolution with 2. Not Aaron. Zach with 4, Revolution with 2, Aaron with 1, Spilly with 1, and Schmidt with that Jensen Button drive at Canada. He's also got 1. Let's focus on qualifying here. Like I said, one of the most legendary circuits in the world in motorsport. Silverstone, it's pretty much etched itself as one of those sort of top legendary circuits, alongside Monaco, Monza, Spa. It's got so much history, and it's a driver's favourite as well. Very unique course, very unique turns. And we're going to let Dr. Dre, we're going to pick on Dr. Dre to give us a flying lap of this magical 5.89 kilometre circuit, going through turns 1 and 2 into turn 3, Village, heavy braking zone, 3rd gear into the loop, turn 4, a bit shallow apex, doesn't get a very good run, into turn 5 at Aintree, DRS open onto the Wellington Straight, now into Brooklands, very, very nice. Into Woodcote, I think it's Woodcote, or is it Luffield? No, it's Luffield, then Woodcote. I always get those two confused. I don't get this one confused, so Cops Corner, it's a favourite of mine, absolutely love it. 50 metre board turn in, little bit of a lift. Probably could have carried it flat, I think, just being a bit cautious. Now through the most iconic part, Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. Fast flowing right and left handers onto the hanger straight. DRS open once again. And now coming into Stowe. 6th gear, 5th gear, there we go. Into a small straight coming into Vale, I believe. And Club Corner to round off the lap. Of course, Banana Cake Point. Of course, that's the first thing you have to put in every stream. Those 3 emojis. Of course, Dr. Dre goes fastest at 27.5. That gets demolished by Revolution with a 26.6. However, he's on the soft. Oh, so was Dr. Dre. Really? Oh, okay. Thought he was on the mediums. Aaron goes second fastest at 26.8. 40 goes by his teammate Crossy, also a 26.9. Toddster a 26.9. Holy moly, this is closer than I thought it was. That's amazing. I know it's just the start of the session, but wow. Okay. Zach, oh of course, Zach Schumacher goes quickest, a 1 minute 26.538. Puts him currently P1. Very Lazy Tail begins his first drive lap. Spilly's invalidated. Whereabouts are you, BK? You're coming through a Luffield, I believe. Let's see, anyone else that we can pick on? Breno, he's moved up from Tier 2 up into Tier 1. You see, there's a rule in Tier 2. If you win more than one race, you're instantly into Tier 1. Or at least it seems like that. The other driver that's moved up from Tier 2 to Tier 1 is BK. He won 4 races in a row right at the start of the season, and now he's a reserve driver for Tier 1. And same with Breno, 2 race wins at Monaco and at Austria. Now landed him a seat at Haas. As speaking of Haas, there's a Haas that spun. F1 Hawk, whereabouts is that? That's entering Chapel. Has had a moment. Getting on a flyer. House coming around. A bit interesting to see that everyone's going onto the soft. Actually, I can't quite remember the strategy around this place. Is it a soft medium circuit? I can't quite remember. Lazy tail coming through Vale. Into club corner. Across the line, it's a 27.7. Puts him within the top 10 for now. Billy's coming around to do another lap. Banana cake pie. The man, the myth, the legend, the three-lap champion, former 3-lap champion. He'll be a driver to watch for sure. Billy. After invalidating his first lap, coming through Vale once again, sets a 26.7, puts in P3 on old soft compound tyres as well. Just imagine if he managed to nail that first lap together. Be quite close to Zach's time, I would have thought. Roscoe apparently fastest through Sector 1. Game is probably lying to me. Banana cake pie is now going to finish a lap. He's on the medium, so it won't be quite amazing. 28.198 on a set of mediums. Currently the second fastest out of all the medium runners. Still got 2 more to come across the line. I think Roscoe is the first of which, but he's invalidated. Go back to Schmidt. Oh, he's got that very awkward line through Maggots and Beckett's. See, that's one of the issues that drivers have to face on this circuit. Maggots and Beckett's, if you even stuff up one turn, you stuff up that entire section. You also ruin the run onto the straightaway. You lose maybe 1, maybe 2/10 of a second on the straight just because you stuffed up that little complex. Because of that, a 28.3, 2/10 off Banana Cake Pie. Now I know Banana is quite a respectable racer, but Schmidt a lot quicker, or at least in my opinion. I wonder if Banana would share the same view. Revolution's going to go out on another flying lap. This might be a better view to actually see a proper fast lap here at Silverstone and just see how he drives the car. Short shifts, okay, uses first gear, gets extra rotation. Try and get the car straightened out as soon as possible, rather. Coming into Brooklyn, 325 kilometers an hour, braking hard all the way down to third gear, then short shifts back up to fourth. Try and minimise wheel spin. We've got a slow car on the old pit straight. Come into Cox Corner, Willoughby flat, 50 metre ball, turn in. Almost, not quite, almost. Now through Maggots and Beckett's. The first 2 are typically flat. 6th gear, then down to 5th. Very nicely done. He's gone purple through Sector 2. He's up by 2/10 of a second. Keeps this sort of pace up. He's definitely moving himself into P1. Oh, it uses all of the curb, all of the runoff coming out of Stowe. Through the left, right of Vale, then into Club Corner. He's going to be an absolute mega lap, 25.26.3. Very good lap from Revolution. Puts him 2/10 clear of Zach Crichton in P2. 40's on another flying lap, okay. So Breno and Roscoe Arm are the only two drivers left to actually set a lap time. And that's another thing that drivers have to worry about with this circuit. It's not too much of a problem, but warnings can play a big part. It can be easy just to cut a bit too much, run a bit too wide and just gather a warning. Maggots and Beckett's is a section that caught me out many times, just cutting one corner a bit too much. And another thing is the pit entry as well. The amount of times I have sped through that pit entry, it's so easy to do. It comes at you so quickly, and it's a very slow pit lane at Silverstone. It's a 60 km/h pit lane. It can catch you out. Most of the other ones are 80. Renault jumps up into P14, 27.5. Wow, that is close. Once Roscoe Arm sets... Oh, he's invalidated, so remove a... Oh, he's still on the outlap. Okay, so he'll come around now to start his possibly first flying lap. Through 1 and 2 into Village, 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear, massive slide. Although that is very good to watch, it wouldn't have been very quick. Roscoe Arm gentle on the throttle, coming on to that Wellington straight. That's a 1.3 yellow flags. This car's being... Wait a minute. F1 hold. I thought it might have just been a slow car. No, Hawk has had a moment at Chapel. Doesn't appear to be any damage though. So he must have kept it out of the wall. It seems that Roscoe Arm's invalidated, potentially. But he's still pushing. I wonder if it's probably the game tricking them, most likely. Codemasters tend to do that. Down the hanger straight, watch the speedo flying 320 kilometers an hour into Stowe. Use the track limits on the left hand side of the circuit, going into the chicane. Finally, club corner. Has he actually invalidated? Let's have a look. He did. So he's just getting a delta down. I was actually going to pay mention to how close it is at the moment. So if we go from P1, it's a 26.3, then it's a 26.5, 26.5, 26.6, 26.7, 26.9, 26.9, 26.9, 27 flat. It is ridiculously close, and the midfield's the same. 27.3, 27.3, 27.4, 27.4, 27.5, 27.5, 27.5, 27.6. It is so close. I am incredibly impressed of how close it is between these guys. It is absolutely superb. So Zach's invalidated, but I think he's going to do another lap, or is he going to come in? No, he comes in, okay. So we've got 4 minutes left in the session. At the moment, the top three are separated by 2.5 tenths of a second. With track evolution, with the perfect race car, 2 tenths isn't very big. With the better track temps, you can find so much more time. With the lighter car, you can find so much more time. You now know roughly where the braking points are. I mean, I'm sure some of these guys are using Racing Line. But you've now got the general feel of the car. You know where to push, you know where to stop. So although Revolution, he's got 2 tenths, which seems like quite the margin. Not quite. Not in this game. Everyone is in the pits except for Schmidt and Romy Alonso and BK. Now, why is it not letting me... Oh, for goodness sake. Schmidt goes 4/10 up. Absolutely massive through sector 1. Coming into Cox Corner. Small left uses all of the road on the left-hand side. He's pushing hard. Fifth gear, nice and gentle. DRS open once again, and he's purple. He's 1.3 seconds up. Granted, his first time was set on a set of mediums. Now coming to complete the lap through Vale, then into Club. What is this time going to look like? Well, he doesn't have time to set another. 26.6. That puts him to P4. That's how much the track evolves. Track evolution with the better tyre, with the better car. That's how big of an improvement. From 18th to 4th. Let's see what these fellas can do. BK, I believe, is the next driver. Drive. With the massive track extent. Yeah, I know. But see, the thing is, there's a couple of circuits on this calendar where you can really abuse track limits. One famous one that I know of is Paul Ricard, and coming out of turn 12, I think it is, BK goes to P12. That's his session done. There we go, he retires from the session. So drivers to look out for. Let's look out for Crossy. Turn 12 at Paul Ricard. So you're on the Mistral straight after the chicane. You go through turn turn 10, the fast right-hander, fast flat-out right-hander. Then you go around turn 11, braking point right. The braking point's also the turning point of the corner. And you got turn 12, which is the reducing radius left-hander. You can really abuse the tarmac on the right-hand side and get a nice wider exit. You can gain 1, maybe 2/10 of a second. And I guess Stowe, it's the same thing. Oh, that's a great revving glitch. Crossy, next driver to cross the line through the chicane. Where does he go? Oh my word! He had a moment. He had a big moment. Curving Texas, using the Leoldi pit lane, just to stay out of everyone's way. Alright, let's have a look at the leaders. They are the important ones. So I believe Revolution's the first one. Zach's not too far behind. Aaron's just starting his lap. Thereabouts is 40. He's coming onto the Wellington straight. I mean, I know what Revolution did isn't very sportsmanlike, but it's very difficult to police for stewards, and which is why they won't probably take any action on it. It's fair. What he's doing is fair in the sense that every driver can do it. Every driver can abuse that little bit of tarmac on the outside and gain those 1 or 2/10 of a second. Oh, he didn't gain 1 or 2/10 of a second there though. Oh, of course. I mean, sportsmanlike, you stay within the white lines, but from a competitive standpoint, actually he beats his own time. I didn't think he could do that. Off the circuit, so his session is done. Clegg retires from the session as well, so he'll be starting from P11 at the moment. So Aaron, he's one of the few drivers that can actually do it. 40 goes to P2, a 26.4. What can Aaron do? He does improve, but not by enough. Crossy has no fuel left, so Revolution will get pole. He will get pole position. Ex-Revolution gets pole position for the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. A 1 minute 26.256 puts him on pole. Ooh! Now, when AI, I've seen this before, when AI do that, you have a chance of getting a 5 grid place penalty. I have seen that before. I hope that he hasn't got one just then. 40 in P2 with a 26.4, 2/10 off the pace. Love getting invalidated. Zach, you're probably going to win it from the looks of things. You've won 4 races at the moment. You're probably going to win this one. What's the bet? But Revolution gets on pole position by 1.5 of a second. Spilly in P3. Romy Alonso P4. Zach P5. Aaron P6. Smith P7. Tots P8. Crossy P9. Curvy Texas P10. Ples P11, Very Lazy Tail P12, Rudy P13, Dr. Dre P14, Breno on his debut P15, BK P16, Burger 17th, Banana Cake Pie, F1 Hawk, and VSR Roscoe Arm make up the remaining play. What strategy these fellas are going to use? I just wonder. But as Pleb said, nice and dry in both sessions, so it's going to be a nice English day. Well, less than typical. It should be absolutely bucketing down if this was realistic. Typical English weather. But the drivers are now fine-tuning their strategies, fine-tuning their setups, the fuel load, all that sort of stuff, in preparation for what should be an absolute banger of a race. But yeah, just to reiterate what Revolution was doing, there's a sportsmanship side of it where you respect the white lines, because that's what they're there for. It's not just for, competitive reasons, it's also for safety reasons as well. Keep cars on this patch of circuit. But you've got the showmanship side of you saying you need the competitive edge. Why bother following the rules when you can abuse certain pieces of the rules to get that competitive edge? I mean, if these guys were real sportsmen-like, they would be racing with no assists, no traction control, no ABS, no racing line, because that's what real racing drivers have to put up with. But by having them on, you've got that competitive edge, especially racing line. Because now you don't have to memorize a course, you've got it there in front of you. Let's get the telemetry up, don't need lap data. Now let's have a look at the tyres. Very surprising, actually. A lot of drivers starting on the softs. Only 4 drivers rather starting on the mediums. Plebs, Lazy Tail, Gaming Burger, and Roscoe Arm. I guess the softer tyre strategy works better these days because of how often the safety car now comes out. If you start on a harder compound, you really put yourself in a really big deficit because you're effectively losing a free pit stop, especially if you start on the hards. Because then, if you start on the hards, you have to go on to the mediums if you want to do a pit stop. And then you have to probably go on to another set of mediums if they can't make it, or onto a set of softs. But if you don't pit, well, you effectively lose a free pit stop. And you've got guys behind you on fresher tyres. So, I can understand why a lot of these guys are actually going to go onto the softs. But the drivers are now coming round to complete their formation lap, to line up back on the grid for the British Grand Prix. Okay, so it is a soft-medium strategy, okay. It's not a medium-hard strategy, it's a soft-medium strat. Okay. Good to know. But here we go. All the drivers should be lined up now. There we go. Oh, come on, game. Give me a better camera shot. This is garbage. But here we go. Here we go. We've got 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go here at Silverstone. And it seems that Revolution has got quite a good start. He's pulled away. Almost has a car length on 40 already. Oh, here we go. Midfield going through turn 1. Oh, it doesn't appear anyone's died yet, though, which is good to see. Oh, as I say that, I think that's Brown in the half. Half spins the car. Oh, it's 3 wide at the back of the pack. Going through the loop, coming into Aintree. 2 wide, everyone gets through. Everyone gets through. That is very nicely conducted by these guys. It's very common to see an accident at turn 1, but it just shows the sheer skill that these drivers have in preserving their car. Everyone gets through turn 1 and sector 1 very, very nicely. So X Revolution leads the way. We're 40 in behind. No one pulling out. No, oh, I saw that right in the background. I think that might have been Schmidt running very wide, coming out of Cop's corner. And still conducting themselves, just getting themselves settled in, as Romy Alonso goes very defensive, coming into Stone. Aaron will try and get the switch back. Alonso will abuse the track limits. Will he look to the inside? No, he won't. Aaron will stay in behind. But Alonso gets a horrible run through Vale as F1 Hawk? Yeah, it is. He's had a moment. He's dropped out of the pack. And by pack, I mean from first to a 19th. That's how close it is. I mean, the biggest gap at the moment is between Spilly and Alonso. Oh, Banana Cake Pie has had a moment at turn 1. It can be quite easy to do. If you take that inside curve just ever so slightly wrong, back of the car gets really unsettled. Spins the car round into the inside wall. Didn't appear to have any damage though. No, he looks good. Back up to the leaders. Revolution still leading the way, but 40 looks quick. He is right in behind the McLaren's gearbox. Coming through. Oh, Zach Brighton running very wide at Cop's corner. Through Maggots and Beckett's they go. Oh, and that's Gaming Burger. And that is a very, very damaged front wing. You'll have to come in. He's had a moment at Stowe. Back up to the leaders. My God, look at the pack behind. That's a sight to see. Look at them scramble all over the circuit. Schmidt, oh, can't quite get the move done on Crossy. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Kevin, Texas and BK side by side at Vale. Kevin gets out on top. 3 laps in. DRS is now enabled. Back up to the leaders. Let's see who's gained the most positions out of the start. So BK has 4 positions gained on the first lap, but not many big movers up or down the field, really. Biggest losers out of that is the very lazy tower. Down 3 positions, that's it. And with the field as close as it is, you could probably find a couple of positions fairly quickly. As Tal has left the session, commentators curse. Oh no. A top 4 battle. Revolution 40, Zach and Spilly. Then we got a 3-way fight for 5th place between Alonso, Aaron and Todster. Then we got the mother of all trains from Crossy all the way down to Rudy in 14th place as Towley joins the session. Good to see. Well, here we go. 40 down the inside to take the lead. Coming into Stowe, but Revolution will try and find a way around. There's the track abuse. I mean, you're allowed to, have your own opinion about what they're doing. To me, it's not great. But I understand from a competitive side, you need that edge. You need to exploit everything. Especially in cars that have equal pace. You need everything to be on your side. As Zach sends it down the inside. Coming into the hairpin at turn 3. Revolution is having none of it though. Back down the inside at the loop. Into Aintree. Oh, brilliant racing. Both of them will have DRS. Revolution goes back onto the racing line and Zach sends it into Brooklands. Oh, he's got a little bit of overlap around the outside into left field. Can't quite get the job done, but he can get a good run. Not quite slippery, not quite powerful enough, and it's brought Spilly back into this. He was falling away a little bit. Driver's running very wide at Stowe. Not Stowe, Pop's corner. Oh god, I'm going to get these confused all night, aren't I? Can't get Maggots and Beckett's confused, though. You can see two very different lines from Zach and Revolution. I didn't quite catch all of that, but they look very, very different lines. I just have to pay attention to that when they come round again. Let's have a look further back. As Aaron is now onto the back of Ronnie Alonso. Toddster right in behind this as well. He's actually got a half decent run. Can't make much of it though through turn 1, Abbey, turn 2, into Village, turn 3. Oh, Alonso. Oh, sector 1 yellows. Who is that? It's Schmidt, is it? It's Schmidt! Race winner from Canada! Oh, Jesus! Let's go on, get the gears down. Trying not to spin the car out, I guess. Leaders. Still 40, Revolution and Zach, top 3. Less than half a second separate each driver. 1.8 seconds back to Alonso in 5th, with Aaron and Toddster right in behind. We've got Crossy and Plebs. Plebs just 1 second behind Crossy, so he's able to get DRS and make some gains. As Aaron makes a move on Alonso down the inside, coming into Stowe. Snatches P5, but Alonso's not having any of it. He's going to look to the inside at Vale. Oh, has to use all the curb too. Oh, this would be a great seat from Toddster's point of view. In these two battle, will Alonso have a crack at turn 3? Let's see. He is close, but is he close enough? I don't think so. I think he was tempted on making a move. He's going to wait till the DRS zone coming onto the Wellington straight. See if he can make a move coming into Brooklands. Oh well, there's so much going on, I don't quite know where to look. And it seems that Zach and Revolution have had a bit of a scuffle, because 40's pulled away out of the 1 second DRS margin. Unless, of course, 40 has that sort of pace. Now, I want to pay attention to these two again, because I just noticed very different lines. Let's watch Philly. Two high-quality drivers, two of the best that Australia has to offer. Not quite the same, is it? I just noticed a comment that Revolution might be using less down tilts, and I think he might be right. See there, he's just able to power pass on the straight. And there was a moment previously in the stream where both drivers had DRS, and both of them were side by side, and Revolution was able to pull away. I think you're right. I think he might be trading off corner speed for better straight line speed. This scrap is now bringing Aaron, Alonso and Toddster into this. We might have a 6-way fight for second place. But this sort of battling, it's not healthy. 40's loving it though. 1.4 seconds. And that's only going to grow. But he's running low on ERS. In single digits. In comparison to 30 odd percent, 20% and 71%. So Spilly, he's thinking about the long game. He's got all of this reserves to use. This might be very interesting to see how all this plays out. I don't want to look away from this, but I want to have a look at some of the midfield battles. Yeah, have a look at this. This is a battle for the final point scoring position. It's a 5-way fight, I think. Let's see, it's BK, the two Toro Rossos, Roscoe and Breno. Sorry, no, and Curving Texas. Oh my, look at the train on the mini-map. They're coming on to the hangar straight now. That is absolutely brilliant. That is for the final point scoring position as Dr. Dre down the inside at Stowe. Can he get the move done? No, he can't. BK gets the better drive. Oh, and Dre's in. Or stop the car. That's a 5-second penalty. I thought he came in a bit too quick. You have to be careful here. It's 60 kilometers an hour, not 80. It's only 60, as F1 Hawk has made a mistake at Stowe. Cops. It's cops. Come on. Keep making that damn mistake. Okay, so these guys have stopped fighting, and 40 has fallen back into this. Revolution is now right back in behind the gearbox of the Scuderia Ferrari. Coming down the old pitch straight into Cops. Not Stowe, it's Cops, not Stowe. Battle for P5 still rages on. Toddster with the best view in the house watching this battle between Aaron and Alonso, just waiting for for a good opportunity. You see there he's saving ERS. He has it in none. He has no plans to overtake just yet. As a whole, heap of drivers are coming in. Let's have a look. So Aaron's in, Spilly's in, Revolution is in, 40's in. And Crossy's in as well. They're going to be going on to the medium compound tyre. Oh, Crossy, he has to double stack. Oh my goodness me. This is typical Ferrari behaviour. Oh, Crossy, he can't believe it. Oh, dearie me, how much time did he lose in that stop? Having to double stack with his teammate. Mattia Binotto doing what he does best. Here was the battle for P10, currently battle for P5, led by Rudy in the Toro Rosso, Oscar right in behind, and BK Breno and Curving Texas. That's amazing. Now, how much of an undercut are these fellas going to get on Zach? Because all of them pitted. 40, Revolution, and Spilly, they all pitted. Zach's now coming in, so he's done the overcut. Will it work though? We'll have to wait and see. Alonso comes in, Toddster's in, and Plans will now become the effective leader of the British Grand Prix. Now, if there's a safety car or something, Les might find himself into a fairly good position. Maybe a safety car a bit later on in the race. Not quite just now, but later on. Roscoe moves into P2. Rudy still out and about. Same with BK and Breno. So let's have a look here. Oh my goodness me, that is massive. Oh, and Zach, oh, here we go. This is a battle for P4, effectively P4. Oh, and down the inside of the loop. But Spilly, he's going to have better traction with the outside line. They're going to be side by side through Aintree, and Zach gets the position. But that's how much time he lost. He was battling with 40 and Revolution. He's lost about almost 2 seconds, I'd imagine. Revolution in the effective race lead if the entire race remains under green flag conditions, with 40 in P2. Going to be an absolute through Maggots and Beckett's now. DRS for 40. Half a second separate the two. As we've got sector... What the... Breno, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I've got yellow flags there, I don't know why. Very strange. Didn't appear to be any sloper. So the order's now starting to sort itself out. The only drivers that haven't pitted, drivers are started on the medium compound tyre. Zach still about 1.4 seconds away from effectively the top two. But he's got that one lap fresher mediums. How much benefit is he going to get out of that at the end of the race? I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. And Aaron, he is well in this as well. He's within half a second. So is Toddster. Romy Alonso is within a second of Toddster. Rossi a fair way down in 11th at the moment. So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, if this actually properly pans out like it should, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 drivers are effectively battling for the lead. If this group bunches up like it should, if these two keep battling like they are, and the field bunches up, we're going to have a 7-way fight for the lead. Man, it would be magical if it stays like that for the whole race. I don't think it will though. See that now Zach is really starting to put the hammer down. He's gained back that second and a half that he was behind on the previous lap. He is now right behind Revolution as Banana Cake Pie, I think that's Banana. It is. He retires from the session. He's had enough. Plev's still leading the way. We can't count out these guys just yet. We now have a car retiring from the session. Who knows? Might bring out a safety car. Might. If it does, it'll be very interesting to see what happens next. Tal. Oh, he would... Yeah, Tao might be wearing the brown pants because the people that are behind him are battling for the lead. I wonder what he's going to do. What is this man going to do? Is he going to fight? He has the right to. He is third. On track, he's third. He's on a different strategy, yes, but he's third. What is he going to do? Oh, Zach, here we go. Revolution having to go defense. No way, he's got it. Oh, what a move. That is such a clinical move. Around the outside of Vale. Has the inside for the right-hander and gets second place. That is slick. That is textbook. If you looked up overtake in a dictionary, clean overtake in a dictionary, it would show an image of that. That was... That was fantastic racecraft. No contact. Very nicely negotiated by Revolution as well. Fought hard but respected his position on the circuit. But wow, that was a fantastic move. Nice, clean and clinical. You can see why he's won so many of these races. 4 race wins in this championship. 53-point lead. Seems to be unstoppable. Oh, here we go. 40 overtakes. Very lazy Tal. At a place that you don't normally overtake at Cops Corner. Ooh. Tal off the circuit. He's like, fuck this. I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this. Just get me out of here. Oh, dearie me. Oh, poor Tal. Poor Tal. The poor man. Oh, here we go. Look at this battle. Battle pack of the ages right here. 40 still leads the way. Zach in P4, Revolution P5, Spilly P6, Aaron P7, Todd's to P8. All of them have a good shot at winning this. Who's got the better racecraft? Who's got a better racing mind? Who's able to play out and think about the end game as Curving Texas gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings? This is going to be one hell of a battle. Zach is now right on the back of 40. He's not going to make a move here. He's not quite close enough. He's definitely gesturing it though. He's just going to let him know, I'm right here, mate. I'm right here. Ronnie Alonso, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. They're going to start playing a part in this race as well. As Aaron gets 3 seconds. So that's one of the potential race winners, potentially out of this race. Zach down the inside, clean as you like, as Revolution is right in behind the Ferrari. Will he have a move at Val? No, he won't. Oh, and a bit of contact there as well. A little bit of contact. Hasn't resulted in any damage though. Alright, so now... Is that Roscoe? No, it's not. It's a lap car. Okay. What a battle. And I don't think Zach's just going to pull away here either. DRS is incredibly powerful in this game. The yellow flag's just a slow car. It's just F1 Hawk getting out of the way. Coming onto the old pitch straight now. Zach using an unorthodox line, trying to break the toe. This will be good. Coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. Oh, and 40. What the fuck? Just dropped out. Just a little bit there. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. In Revolution, he's lost a fair amount of time to 40, about half a second. You can see that there. You're absolutely right. Revolution pulling away from Spilly. Both of them had DRS. Both of them had a slipstream. As Plebs comes in. So where will he pop out, I wonder? It's not a very long pit lane at Silverstone. It is a very, very slow one though. At only 60 kilometers an hour. Looks like he'll just come out P11, I think. Well, not quite. P10. But he's going to be incredibly fast on those tyres. So the only driver who hasn't pitted yet is VSR Roscoe in the Williams. He's probably just going to pray for a safety car. Lazy Tail is joined back in the session. Oh, here we go. Revolution through Cops. Right in behind, but you can't really do anything at Cops. You have to be either brave or just downright stupid to try and make an overtaking move there. A little bit sideways. Crossing 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. For both 40 and Revolution. DRS, what can they do against Zach? What a great deal. See, although the DRS is incredibly powerful, Zach Crichton is one of the best defensive drivers I have ever seen in my whole life. Really. There was the race at Bahrain where he demonstrated it perfectly, where he held off Revolution for that race, and it was a beautiful display of racing between both drivers. Revolution going on an all-out onslaught to try and overtake Zach. Zach put the car exactly where it needed to be, and he held on to win. So although 40, he has DRS, and he's got the revving glitch, which is nice. He's got a lot of work to do to try and get past Zach. Look at this train. Romy Alonso, he has dropped away, but the top 6 still remain. Tal has left the session. He's dropped out of the session again. So Tal having some internet problems. He's currently in P12. He's just outside of a point scoring position. Look at this. I have never seen a top 6 like this. All in this train. All of them so incredibly fast. Any of these guys can win. It only takes one mistake and you're out of it. You've got no chance of winning then. Make one mistake and you're out. As F1 Hawk gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm just going to quickly check, because one of them has got a drive-through. 40's got 3 warnings but no penalty. X Revolution. Spilly, 2 warnings. Aaron, he's got 3, that's right. Toddster has only got the 1 warning. So these guys have been keeping it very, very clean. And with, for the most part, all 4 wheels within the white lines, for the most part. Revolution's gotten a good run through Cops. Can't do anything through here. Coming on to the hangar straight once again. Revolution, he's got the big straight line speed here. Oh, but he's still not quite close enough to do anything. Zach, he just runs very slightly wide at Stowe. Will 40 have a look? No, he won't. He'll just staying behind. He's thinking about the end game. But each driver doing well. Except for Toddster, 52%. So he's got a lot of resources to play with. I would love to ride on board with 40, but that revving glitch is so annoying. Oh, don't you love it? It's like the signature part of a Codemasters game. It's this beautiful revving glitch. You just love to hear it. As Revolution down the inside of Brooklands, what a move! From the McLaren, absolutely superb move. See there, Revolution, big straight line speed there. Able to capitalise. Spilly. Oh, here we go. Aaron might have a go down the inside at Cops. Yes, he will, and he will get the position. Into P4 he goes, but he's got 3 seconds worth of penalties. Or Spilly. Oh, there could have been a little bit of overlap, but oh, there wasn't. Thank goodness for that. And while all of this is happening, Revolution, you have DRS. Use it. He's not using it. That's very strange. Spilly down the inside at Vale. Oh, but Aaron's having none of it. Oh, right on board with Toddster. Watch this little melee between these two. I'm gonna have to look further back, see what's going on. Ooh, hang on. Whole heap of exchanging of positions. Just from the looks of things, this is pretty much the only battle in the points. Is this battle for first place. First to 6th. Oh my goodness. And Zach, he's now sort of holding this 1.2 second margin. Oh, but he's dumping everything. to try and pull away. He knows this is his opportunity to pull away. Revolution is reacting to it, trying to push as hard as he is. You can see both of them in single digits. Oh, here we go. Spilly and Toddster. Spilly goes defensive into Stowe. Toddster can't really do anything, but he's right in behind in contact! There was contact between those two. Thank goodness Spilly didn't spin around. My goodness me. I've seen... Ooh, man, such a 2 yellow flags. Used to be nothing. Oh, just from the way the car behaved, I thought that car was spinning right round. It didn't though. Spilly holds on to P5. That's what it is, F1 Hawk. Coming through Cop's corner has had a moment. He's still fighting on though. Breno! What on earth? He's retired in the pit lane, so he's had enough. On his debut race, he's had enough. We're now closing in with 5 laps to go, and it seems Zach might have this sewn up. If he can keep that second margin, he's got this. If that margin goes underneath the second, then there might be a chance. It just might be. There it goes, under a second. But it wasn't under a second at the detection line, so just gonna have to fight. Oh, hang on. Don't know what you're doing there, Tal. Bit of a adventurous line. As F1 Hawk has retired from the session. That's at the loop, I think, turn 4. Has he had a moment? No, I think he just voluntarily retired. He's had enough. So we'll have 4 retirements. None of them crashes as of yet. Revolution. He's within DRS range, so the battle for the win might still go on. Oh, here we go. Got a battle for 5th though. Spilly and Toddster. Oh, wrong button. Toddster down the inside of Brooklands on the outside for Luffield. Can't quite do too much. Roscoe on. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Spilly. Just trying to break the toe? I thought he was going defensive, but no, he was trying to break the toe. Now through Maggots and Beckett's. Spilly just might have the better aero. Toddster with the better straight line speed. DRS, overtake, no, this is going to be easy. Spilly goes very defensive, but Toddster around the outside into Stowe. And gets P5, oh my goodness me, that was a massive tank slapper. They're now side by side coming into Vale. Oh, and gets a switch back, oh, another switch back into Club. This is going to be awesome. Oh. Spilly thinks better of it, he just pulls out. Toddster might have won the battle, but he hasn't yet won the war. Spilly will get DRS coming on to the Wellington Straight. Might have a crack coming into Brooklands. Speaking of cracks, Revolution's now within half a second of Zach again. So this battle is not done, folks. Battle for the win isn't over. Tell you what, Alonso's now starting to catch up to this little pack here of Toddster and Spilly, so we might have a three-way fight. Aaron in a lonely P4. At the moment he'll hold on to it though. With that 3-second time penalty he'll still finish in 4th place. Go back up to the leading trio. Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari. 1st, 2nd and 3rd at the moment. No penalties between any of these drivers as Revolution abusing the track limits at Stowe. as they cross the line. It will be 3 laps to go. Oh, and Revolution makes a mistake. Coming through Club Corner. Going through Abbey into turn 2. Then turn 3 at Village. See there. Both Revolution and 40, they look pacey. It looks like they can challenge. Have to wait and see. But Zach, he's just holding on. He's got a little bit of ERS up his sleeve. Revolution's got a bit more. And in between is 40 on 30%. So, I don't know who's going to come out on top of all this. Oh my goodness me. Coming onto the old pitch straight. Into Cops Corner. Seems the revving glitch on 40's car has been fixed, which is good. See now Revolution within 0.3 of a second of the Mercedes. Going on to the hangar straight. DRS wide open. Into overtake mode, then back down to 0. I don't think he wants to overtake him just yet. He knows how powerful DRS is around here. He's going to wait. He's going to play this little game with Zach. I don't think he'll try and overtake him, but what he will try and do is put that nose in on the inside of his car. Just tell him, I'm right here, mate, and try and force an error. Let's have a look. Coming on to the Wellington straight for the second last time. Into, you can see that, into none. He's just weaving the car to the inside. He's telling Zach, mate, I'm right here. If you make one mistake, I'm having you. And Zach knows this. He's on 20% ERS, so he's got enough in his back pocket to play with. Through Cops. Coming through Maggots and Beckett's once again. Oh my goodness me. This might be one hell of a thing. Oh, and Revolution has made a mistake! Unbelievable scenes! Has this just turned into a 2-horse race? I mean, it seems that Revolution hasn't lost much time, but those tyre temperatures are going to be completely out of whack. The game doesn't like it when you go off circuit. You can see there, he's falling away. He's almost 1 second out from the top 2. Last lap, the last 5.89 kilometres, the last 18 turns of the British Grand Prix. And it might have just turned into a 2-way fight for the win. 40. Zach, Revolution, he is still in this. Only just, but he's in it. And here we go. Oh, into Brooklands. That is going to be the widest Mercedes-Benz 40 has ever seen. Coming out of Luffield, into Woodcote, onto the old pitch straight. Into Cops Corner for the final time. 40 is right in behind, but you can't do anything here. It is suicide going side by side. And Revolution is right back in this as well. Going through Maggots and Beckett's for the final time. This might be make or break for Zach. It might be make or break for any of these drivers. Out of they go. Onto the Wellington straight. They're going to use everything they've got. 40's got to run. Will he look to the inside? Coming into Stowe. Yes, he will. Oh, Zach gives him the space. Here we go. Into Vale for the final time. Oh, who's going to come out on top? 40 to the outside. Zach gets the line. Oh, there's contact. And 40 gets the run. Coming out of the final corner. This is going to be a close finish. And 40 gets the win. He gets the win. Revolution in P2. Zach in P3. Aaron P4. Oh my goodness me. That is the closest finish I have ever seen. Wait, did Zach get a penalty at the end? Did he get a penalty? He did too. I did not see that. Lap 20 got a penalty. It did not come up for me. Oh, top 40 in Revolution. That has to be the closest finish ever. Period. Racing history. Full stop. My goodness me. It doesn't even know how close it is between 40 and Revolution. It has no idea. Race director, how close is it? Come on, it has to tell me. Oh my god, it has the game between 40 and Revolution. But I think Zach must have crossed the line first. But I didn't see the 3-second penalty. Zach had 3 seconds next to his name. What a race. What a race. I didn't see the penalty. I wish I did. As Tal is exploring the outfield of Silverstone. Exploring the track limits, as it were. The game has no idea. How close was it between 40 and Revolution? On track, that is ridiculous. It was effectively cars. That first NASCAR race in cars. That was that finish. But 40 gets the win here in the UK, here at the British Grand Prix, here at Silverstone. Oh my goodness me. I wanted to do podium, but I want to see how close it was. 0.3 of a second. Wow. 0.3. That was it. Revolution P2, Zach P3, Aaron P4, Toddster P5, Romy Alonso P6, Plebs gets fastest lap, I believe. No, Roscoe gets fastest lap with a 29 flat in P10. Oh my goodness me. Oh my god. Far out. That's how you end a race. Oh, I am so going to do post-race interviews. I know Revolution doesn't have a mic, so I think I'll get 40 and Zach in here. Just a little discussion on that. Oh my god. Holy moly. We'll try and get Zach in here and see if he can't bring 40 along with him. Try not blue screen here for too long. But what a race, ladies and gents. That is without any shadow of doubt. Hello, Zach.
Meg, my man.
It's good to hear your voice. Just to make sure that your voice audio is all good. And could you invite 40 into the chat as well?
I will do that now for you.
Because X-Revolution doesn't have a mic, does he?
No, he does not.
No, I didn't think so.
Damn, that penalty I got.
I didn't know you got the penalty. When I saw the end of it, I saw you jump down all the way to and
I'm pretty sure I would have won that by like 0.0004 or something. It would have been.
Alright. Yep, I got him. Holy moly! But how was that race for you as a whole?
Well, from qualifying, getting that lap invalid, had to start P5, and then just broke really late on the first lap. Got up to P3, I think it was. Then just sat there. Then silly me, just in the dirty air, got a couple of warnings running wide through Stowe, and then I had one warning left. And then with 6 laps to go, I just took a little bit too much curb of turn 1 and got myself that penalty.
Oh,
so
okay.
I wasn't happy. I kept checking to see.
I didn't see it come up. Oh, but still, that was an absolutely fantastic battle between you.
Exactly. Love racing those two. It's always clean, hard racing.
Yeah, particularly between yourself and Revolution. Also, some of the moves you made in that race are absolutely superb. I have to say.
Thank you.
Like,
that's why I kind of wanted that win as well. I was like, I did some great moves there.
There was one where you came out of the pits and you dive bomb Spilly, I think.
That was really nice.
And there was there was one that just took me completely by surprise. Was you around the outside at Vale, around the outside of Revolution? I was like, oh my goodness me, that is an absolutely brilliant move.
Yeah, had a couple moves up my sleeve there, and for sure had to use them starting from P5. That's for sure. A couple of dummies and around the outside, but it's good. Hopefully Bailey's joining. I'll send him a message.
I have sent him an invite. I wonder if he would like to talk to us. The race winner, just like 0.3 of a second it was between Revolution and that is that the closest finish in T1 history, or?
Oh, I think it'd be up there. That's for sure.
My goodness me, that was
3/10. It'd be one of the closest. That's what I was hoping that I didn't get the penalty, so it could have definitely been the closest. But
I think you would have won because the gap between you to second place was 2.6 seconds, and the gap between first to second was 0.3. So the overall gap from first to third was 2.9 seconds. You would have just won.
Yeah, 2.9699 or something. I don't know what it was.
Oh my god.
Bailey didn't get the invite, so I'll suggest him again.
Oh, okay. I thought I did send him the invite. I mustn't have.
We'll try again.
Alright, I'll try again. Okay. Alright, send out another one, see if he gets that. I hope he does. But is Silverstone a circuit that you particularly like, Zach? Or?
To be honest, I think most drivers like it. It's just got a great flow to it. Like, you can keep the car speed up and like, it just makes for great racing. But for me personally, I do love this track. It's definitely in my top 10 tracks I like, that's for sure.
Well, 40, thank you for joining us in the Combox. Congratulations on your 0.3 of a second victory. Oh my god.
Go Bailey.
Oh, mate.
Come on, 40, walk us through this race of yours. Walk us through it. How did it all play out?
Basically, I knew Zach and Revolution were both quicker than me, so no, like, I'm not even gonna lie there. You guys, if DRS wasn't a thing, mate, I would be nowhere where I was. So I knew they were both quicker than me, and heavily relied on just sticking in their DRS, saving my ERS and fuel. And I guess when the time came, I stepped it up a little bit, and I guess got my elbows down a little, and just tried to do whatever was necessary to get across the line first.
Well, I was just talking about this to Zach. To your memory, is this the closest finish for a win in T1 history?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I've ever been this close before. Battling for the win as well. Like, all of us three were consistently battling. I think there were like probably a couple laps where we all just sat behind each other, but majority of it, like, it was a really strategic race, and I think that showed on the final lap where yeah, everyone was once back in it again through the final section to take the win, so it was good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Now, one question that I'll ask to both drivers. I noticed some comments in the chat in the stream, and I want to talk about Stowe particularly and the corner exit at Stowe. Now, do you think it's fair that you guys are allowed to use that sort of extra bit of tarmac on the left-hand side without getting any penalty? Do you think that's fair for everyone, or do you think it's like really unsportsmanlike? Like you shouldn't be doing that. You should be racing within the white lines. Like what's your view on it?
For my opinion, like in real life, you see some tracks they allow drivers to go out wide, and plus obviously, like Bailey and I we're gonna probably exploit this game to the max, which is what we do because we want to just go around as quick as we can. So of course we're going to do that, but yeah, to be honest, since they do it in real life and things like that, I think that like it should be like allowed and like a little bit of leeway. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Like if they made it completely white lines, like you have to be like driving within the white lines, I wouldn't have a problem either. But I feel like it'd make it a lot more challenging, which would be good as well. So to be honest, I don't really mind for both, but yeah, I'm easy.
Yeah, overall I pretty much agree with Zach, I think. I don't think we should be doing it, but it's in the game, you know, and it's not like if every other driver on the track's doing it, you're not going to do it. You're going to race to your full potential, and by doing that you have to exploit some parts of the track and all that, so...
That makes complete sense,
Yeah, I think we're not forced to do it, but if we want a chance, you know, it's definitely we're given a reason to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it helps pass as well for the next climb chicane as well. Helps try and open that up as a passing opportunity. So, but yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me in the commentary box for post-race interviews. I would love to get Revolution in here, but I know he doesn't have a mic.
Yeah.
But, that's okay. We got third place and we got our race winner. Congratulations, 40. And this is your first victory in Tier 1, isn't it?
First one, yeah. I think I haven't even got one. Even last season I didn't get one. I don't know. Don't have the best of luck here, but there you go.
Well,
it came, and it came in style, I think, so...
Oh, that was one of the best finishes I have ever witnessed, period.
Yeah.
That was absolutely superb. All three of you, well actually no, all six of you, because at one point it was a six-way fight. Aaron was involved, Todster was involved, and Spilly was involved as well.
Yeah, we might have slowed the pace up a little bit there, saved that battery up.
You could tell we were all saving battery, and then they all got into it, and then like, we got to go away a bit.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, I was like, I got to try and go here.
Revolution did well to get back in your DRS.
Oh, he did. It was like 1.1. I tried my hardest, but I was like, I know he's gonna find that 10th somewhere, and he did.
He did really well to get there.
And I was like, that's gonna bring you into it, and then I got the penalty.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's good fun.
Good job.
Great race.
Yeah, exactly. You can always have great races with you too. Always respect.
Well, thank you very much, gents, for joining me. Ladies and gents, our P3, Zach Crichton, and our winner, first-time winner for the Scuderia Ferrari. Congratulations, 40. Well driven and well deserved, mate.
Cheers, Meg. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gents, that will end round 10 of the Tier 1 Pacific Series here at Spec Esports. What a brilliant way to end off what was a brilliant Grand Prix. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure you did enjoy it. And I'm sure Expert will be back next week to resume the chaos that has been Tier 1. The brilliant, controlled, absolutely fantastic racing and chaos here in Tier 1. But to end it off, I've been the Smeg. Thank you again so much for watching, and good night.